World Literature, The Ancient Age. Episode 1, Epics and Myths of Antiquity. Literature has always been a mirror reflecting the thoughts, dreams, and fears of humankind. Today, we may be accustomed to paper pages and glowing screens, but the earliest literature was born not from ink, but from voices rising around firelight in the night. These stories were not simply bedtime tales, they were scriptures of life, teaching morality, love, loss, and the meaning of existence. From Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization between two mighty rivers, emerged the Epic of Gilgamesh, the story of a king's quest for immortality. From ancient Greece came Homer, whose woven words in the Iliad and the Odyssey became the cornerstones of Western literature. And across the Indian subcontinent, the world's longest epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana, blended religion, philosophy, and art into a single cosmic tapestry. These stories are not only the heritage of their nations, but treasures of humanity itself. The questions they leave us, of love, death, duty, and the meaning of life, still echo across millennia, resonating with us as their descendants. This first episode takes us back to the roots of world literature, to see why these ancient epics and myths continue to captivate the human spirit, unchanged by the passage of time. The Epic of Gilgamesh, Mesopotamia, ca. 2100 to 1200 BCE. The quest for immortality. In Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates, arose what is considered the world's oldest known literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh. It tells the story of Gilgamesh, the semi-divine king of Uruk, a city whose walls stood defiantly against time. The tale is more than adventure. It embodies humanity's deepest longings and fears. Gilgamesh, with his wild-born companion Enkidu, slays monsters, defies gods, and journeys through extraordinary trials. But when Enkidu dies, the mighty king is shaken to his core. Cradling his friend's lifeless body, he cries out, "Shall I too not die like him? Fear has entered my heart." Thus begins his desperate quest for immortality. Gilgamesh crosses deserts and seas, seeking Utnapishtim, the sole survivor of a great flood, who was granted eternal life, a myth that echoes flood stories in many other cultures. Yet the lesson he learns is profound. Humans cannot conquer death. What endures is not eternal life, but the legacy we leave behind. The Epic of Gilgamesh, inscribed on clay tablets 4,000 years ago, is not just a story of kings and gods, it is a mirror of humanity itself, reminding us to ask, what will we leave behind for the world to remember when our time is done? The Iliad and the Odyssey, ancient Greece, ca. 800 BCE, pillars of Western literature. The Iliad, the war for Troy. More than a chronicle of the Trojan War, the Iliad delves into the human heart amidst conflict. At its center is Achilles, the unmatched warrior whose rage shapes the fate of armies. Yet the most moving moment comes not in battle, but when Priam, the aged king of Troy, crawls into the tent of Achilles, begging for the body of his slain son Hector. "I am a father come for my child. Have pity on me." Achilles weeps with him. In that instant, vengeance gives way to shared humanity. The Iliad becomes more than a war epic. It is a meditation on grief, compassion, and dignity. The Odyssey, the long journey home. After Troy's fall, Odysseus, king of Ithaca, struggles for 10 years to return home. His path is beset with trials, cyclops, sorceresses, and sirens, but beneath the adventures lies a timeless truth, the longing for home and love. When Odysseus finally returns after 20 years, he finds Penelope, his faithful wife, still waiting. Her steadfastness proves that victory is not only measured in conquest, but in loyalty and love that endure the ages. Why these epics endure? 1. Foundations of Western storytelling. Their epic structure shaped later poetry, drama, and novels. 2. Human emotions above divine will, though filled with God's. The true heart of the tales lies in anger, grief, hope, and love. 3. Oral tradition. They lived in the voices of wandering bards before being written, making them epics of the people. 4. Timeless relevance. Themes of honor, homecoming, and human fragility resonate in every age. Together, The Iliad and the Odyssey are not merely literature, but poems of human life. The Mahabharata and the Ramayana, India, ca. 400 BCE, 400 CE. Dharma on the battlefield, love beyond time. If Mesopotamia marked the beginning, and Greece laid the Western foundation, India produced the longest and most profound epics of all, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. These are not just literary works, they are sacred texts, interweaving religion, philosophy, and culture. The Mahabharata, War and Dharma. At over 100,000 verses, it is the longest epic ever written. Its centerpiece is not the clash of armies, but Arjuna's moment of despair. Facing relatives and teachers across the battlefield, he lowers his bow. What use is victory if it comes at the cost of my kin? Here, Krishna, his charioteer and incarnation of Vishnu, delivers the Bhagavad Gita, teaching, do your duty without attachment to the result. This timeless philosophy has shaped spiritual thought worldwide. The epic shows that meaning lies not in conquest, but in choosing the righteous path. The Ramayana, love and loyalty. In contrast, the Ramayana centers on devotion and fidelity. Prince Rama, exiled from his throne, is accompanied by his wife Sita, who insists, wherever Rama is, there is my palace. Through trials, separation, and abduction by Ravana, their reunion symbolizes love and loyalty that triumph over adversity. Why India's epics matter. 1. Religious and philosophical depth, embedding teachings like the Bhagavad Gita. 2. Moral and emotional resonance, Sita's devotion, Rama's sacrifice. 3. Cultural influence, retold in art, theatre, and literature across Asia, from Indian temple carvings to Thailand's Ramakien. Thus, if Gilgamesh made humanity confront death, and Homer illuminated war and homecoming, India's epics remind us that life's meaning rests in duty, love, and adherence to Dharma. These ancient epics endure because they speak not only of gods and heroes, but of humanity itself. They are bridges across time, binding us to the same questions our ancestors asked. What is love? What is duty? What is the meaning of life?